You're listening to Business Stories with Ryan Arcaraci, a podcast dedicated to helping entrepreneurs become even more successful. Let's jump into today's episode. Hey everybody, today is a quick episode special edition. The other day, my brother messaged me and he said, hey, you got to check out Google Notebook LM. And I'm like, what is that? So what do? I check it out. Turns out Google Notebook LM allows you to upload a PDF document and turn it into a podcast. This is super cool if you want to create some great content. You can turn your eBooks, your PDF documents into spoken audio podcasts. Here's one that I did on our Speed to Lead playbook for Clienttether. So here it is. Check it out. Let me know what you think.
Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today we're digging into something I know is on a lot of your minds. If you're a franchise consultant, or maybe a broker or coach, how do you actually turn leads into business, faster? Especially now, it feels so crowded.
It really does. And we've got the source, the Speed to Lead playbook, that claims to have some answers. It lays out specific strategies that it says market leaders are using right now to speed things up.
Okay, so our mission for this deep dive is basically to unpack this playbook. What are the key takeaways for franchise consultants looking to convert faster and, grow?
That's the plan. Let's get into it.
All right, so right off the bat, the playbook hammers home this idea of urgency. It says, look, your prospects, they're probably already talking to like 3 or 4 of your competitors.
Yeah, that context is crucial. Speed isn't just, a nice to have. The playbook presents it as absolutely vital to winning. And the first tactic, engage fast, often starting with a text message.
A text first.
Yeah.
Interesting. Why texting specifically?
Well, the numbers they share are pretty compelling. Something like 90% of texts get read within just 3 minutes. The argument is that reaching out via text and doing it super fast is maybe the biggest single factor in whether you win that deal or not.
Wow. Okay. How fast are we talking?
The playbook suggests texting within 1 to 2 minutes of getting that lead. That's how you optimize conversion, apparently.
1 to 2 minutes. That's fast.
It is. And it also does something practical. It sort of warms them up for a phone call, right? They see your name, know who's reaching out.
Right. Which leads to the next step, I assume. The call.
Exactly. The playbook says call fast, too, ideally within 3 minutes or less after sending that text. Because, even with texting, conversation is still the quickest way to actually qualify someone or disqualify them, which is just as important.
Okay, that makes sense. But let's be real. People screen calls like crazy now. Unknown numbers. Forget it sometimes.
Totally. The playbook acknowledges that. And that's kind of why the text first thing is so important. It gives context, makes your call less unknown, increases the chance they might actually pick up.
Got it. So text fast, call fast. What else?
Video. The playbook is pretty big on using video in your emails.
Video emails, like professionally produced stuff.
Well, yes and no. Initially, it might just be simple personal videos. Think quick, like under 30 seconds. Hey, lead name, just wanted to follow up. Low production, just authentic.
Oh, okay. Like a personal check-in.
Exactly. Then maybe later you might use slightly more polished videos, but the focus should always be on adding value, helping them qualify themselves, not just a sales pitch. It mentions tools you could use, things like Vidyard or Loom, so you don't need a whole film crew.
And does it work? Does the playbook show results?
Apparently so. It quotes some pretty impressive numbers, like a 19% boost in email open rates, and get this, a 300% increase in click-through rates when video is used.
Wow, 300%. That's significant. You can't really ignore that if you're trying to cut through the noise.
Definitely not. And all this, the fast texting, the quick calls, the video emails, it all feeds into a bigger idea the source really emphasizes, which is nurturing all your leads effectively over time, not just the ones who bite right away.
Okay, nurturing. We hear that a lot. But here's where it gets tough for consultants, right? The playbook says good nurturing means maybe 50% more sales, costs 33% less. Sounds great. But then it says you need, 8 to 10 touches per lead to really convert them. Doing that manually for every single lead across text, calls, email, figuring out the timing, that sounds like a ton of work.
It absolutely is.
Yeah.
And that's the crux of it, really. The playbook lays out that's pretty much the implication. It highlights data suggesting effective sales automation can lift conversion rates by like 200 to 300%. Huge numbers. And it suggests focusing that automation on the stuff that eats up time but is critical, the, menial but essential tasks.
Like making sure that first text goes out in under 2 minutes, or sending follow-up reminders, tracking those 8-10 touches, maybe even asking for reviews later on.
Yes, exactly those kinds of things. Automating proposal follow-ups, post-sale check-ins, referral requests. The idea is by automating these pieces, you get massive gains, more revenue, sure, but also your team is more productive, and you, the consultant, get freed up for the strategic conversations.
So automation becomes the engine that actually lets you run the playbook strategy consistently.
Spot on. The source positions automation as the key enabler for the speed, the omni-channel approach, the high-touch nurturing that it argues is necessary to win today.
It brings it all together. Speed, varied contact, consistent nurturing. The playbook says automation is how you make it happen effectively, doing more with potentially less manual effort.
And just to be clear, the source material we looked at, the Speed to Lead playbook, actually points to a specific type of system for this. It mentions Clienttether as a platform designed to deliver the speed and automation needed to execute these strategies, particularly for franchise professionals.
Okay, Clienttether. So the source connects the strategy directly to a potential tool.
It does. It presents it as a way to implement what the playbook prescribes.
Right, so boiling it down for everyone listening, the core message from this playbook seems clear. If you're a franchise consultant, speed in that first contact is non-negotiable. And then it's about strategic, consistent nurturing using a mix of channels: text, call, video, email.
Yeah, and the big insight, according to the source, is that automation isn't just about efficiency anymore. It's framed as fundamental. It's the foundation you need to actually achieve the scale and consistency this strategy demands.
Makes you think, doesn't it? How much time are you, listening right now, spending on those repetitive but vital tasks? The manual follow-ups, tracking everything, sending those nudges. What could automating that, like the playbook suggests, actually unlock for your business? More time for closing, better client relationships.
And if you're curious about exploring a system designed to help implement exactly these kinds of speed and automation strategies, the playbook specifically directs you to check out clienttether.com.
That's clienttether.com. Some really actionable stuff from the Speed to Lead playbook today. Thanks for tuning into this deep dive.
Hey, this is Ryan with the Business Stories Podcast. And if you're a franchisor, franchise consultant, broker, or just a small business owner, you've got to check out clienttether.com. It's an amazing sales automation tool that is revolutionizing the industry. If you want to learn more, go to clienttether.com and inquire within.